Eating enough fish on a regular basis can help protect you from a range of serious diseases. It is recommended that fish is eaten at least 2 times a week as part of a healthy diet because it is packed with proteins, vitamins and nutrients that can help lower blood pressure and help reduce the risk of heart attack or stroke. But what do the fishermen go through to bring you the fish that you so enjoy? Let's go to this fishing community in Cape Coast to find out from the fishermen.
Packed with vitamins and minerals and a major source of omega-3 fatty acids, fish can help to protect against a range of diseases from cancer to heart disease, depression to arthritis. A research by the American Heart Association says a salmon-packed diet can help smooth out age lines. Another research carried out in Mauritius also revealed that children given lots of fish from the age of 3 are less likely to have criminal records by the time they reach age 23. Fish is not only an important source of nutrition. The act of catching, preparing and eating fish are important cultural and family practices as well. This is the Cape Coast fishing community. All these young men are fishermen. After a hard day's fishing trek, they assemble under this shed to relax and also prepare for the next trip. Ayikwe Doda has for the past decade been in the fishing business. He has a wife and 3 children. They all survive on his fishing profession. He tells us that petroling has been the biggest challenge for them.
Aya sayukosin wode stevian pa senesiedi kona iyekotu gumna yebefi ade chansane ake akotwibi o yebokone wechuko se wuchuko damno so aje waye wakaw.
His colleagues couldn't agree more.
I want to collect na bebe enam no won enam bebe adan no wan so kwa no akoso da to bebe enam no won tina nam so we pine kira yi akonachi wo so mpuntu am so na akosina angopona amwa na anam psycho na adina ho na ya na wo twu wo na etno wadi wodoko abenama ade eberade na abohis kana san ede yefofo so
yen yankofo ogu nsanu no walabre wase wutum wusisi dazi posi bizim one-on-one so wutum watwe wodam ebo no ba waze babobal o sende sedam azini nyua wona ebo no wunyi bebi ala waze basan ebo ya so ana bisu neja won so waze hwomba ana so bi na ya so aso ayen yankobi.
They are also worried about the use of chemicals for bumper harvest. This, according to Ayikwe, reduces the fish stock, which affects their harvest. The fishermen also say that sometimes some of their colleagues lose their lives at sea. But according to the Member of Parliament for Cape Coast, this will soon be an experience of the past.
There's a clinic under construction at the beachside being done by the premix people. They have purchased an outboard motor. They've purchased a winch, and so that if there's any disaster on the high seas, you only need to put through a phone call and then they get themselves together and come to your rescue.
These fishermen just returned from sea with a harvest after being away for over 12 hours. This is about the average time to get some good harvest. Whilst at shore, they need to dock their canoe before they can offload. Well, I tried my hands at a push to understand better what it takes. The women who had come to retail fish were too busy to talk to us, lest they may pay for fish they are not taking home, as there are some people who come around to handpick from their pans during retail time. Remember, eating plenty of fish on a regular basis is recommended as part of a healthy diet.
Now, as Ghana gears up for the December elections, more attention is being paid to trouble spots, to avoid occurrences that mar elections, because every election in Ghana is considered a test of the system. Bukom is one such interesting service of Accra, especially in the area of politics. The famous Manchagbona, which plays host to many key political rallies, is located in Bukom. But what makes the area a hotspot during elections? Gifty Andopia finds out more.
This is Bukom, an epitome of true freedom. People walk and mingle freely. Children play around while some adults take on idling moments. It is not your average place of convenience, but this major public toilet serves both children and adults. It is mostly a point of convergence to facilitate the transfer of heritage, and it is patronized in style. If you do not like the bathroom, you can always do it outside. All you have to do is keep your pants on. Food is very easy to come by and equally affordable. The habitation structure is such that every space is occupied by someone, and no room is too small to serve that purpose. Game centers are scattered across all corners because this is one of the key forms of entertainment for the children. In one of the many homemade boxing gyms found in this area, trainers dispense expert tutelage in fist throwing that fetches money, a major feature of Bukom. It is no hard and fast rule, but by 14 years, a girl in Bukom must have a child. These children have great aspirations that do not always work out.
I want to be a doctor. I want to be a bank manager in future. My favorite doctor. I want you to go soldier. Police say I'm a wala. No, I'm time of time. No, kindakon kenokuba. So I want to be a lawyer because when something is coming, it's dangerous, I'll come and keep it right.
Conceivably, the root of these aspirations is pockets of violence they have witnessed and experienced in this neighborhood. They are looking to change it in future. Exactly what needs change in Bukom? Ishmael Lamte manages the public toilet. He has lived in Bukom for 27 years. Lanche and Michael Labi have lived 20 and 12 years respectively in Bukom.
Somebody have to use the baller, but you can't tell the baller you have to put the gutter inside. But the gutter is not gas. But when you have to talk about somebody, they're not upset. You have to insult you. By the here, you have to get very, very, very big problem for here. But they have a lot of people problem for basic, for government side or basic manche side. But when after festival, you have to come. The here they make shaking too much.
School Sunday. Kebi kagbele kutomi nkulamo gotami ke kutomi nkulamo kenibi manche wo mo kenibi no kenu mo ba ebi ene kenibi jikanu tumo ba na me nchuwe mo ko te shete nu tumo na de ka attach na ba gada na ha fe ni bi ne sa ken gbonyele nche gbege bi na jeje musu kenibi wo welu am wo fun am bona no me fe gba o na shin asani ke fe awanya wa kwe bi ene anya on ya bu na kenibi ene me fe ha ho.
This place is a slum, and I want the government to help us to industrialize this place, make this place a nice site. The area is very crowded, and then there's so much dust. That's even though if you are walking, it even enter your eyes, and that's some of the things I don't like.
But why is Bukom considered a hotspot for violence? This man has helped train many boxers.
This is Accra, and we like fighting. That is why. If you go outside, no, you just go and see. Hey, man, nobody will come and separate you people. They won't take any knife. They use their hands.
A trending reason from our conversations with people here links the riotous nature of the town to chieftaincy disputes and youth unemployment. On 25 September 2012, the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons tipped the area as a hotspot and embarked on a community sensitization program to convince the people to tell on neighbors whom they suspect to be in illegal possession of guns and other arms. We attempt to assess their knowledge on such people and weapons and the extent to which telling on a neighbor is an option they will consider.
But only different people, they have to get high on. They go want to shoot 20 people, they get high on, they have to go and want to shoot. But when they have to do that thing, the principal you have come for, they don't do nothing.
You know somebody who owns a gun?
Oh, so 20.
You'll be able to report those people?
I have to report the sitting in mayor leader for Mr. Kwashi. I will explain to him. By the time he say when I'll meet somebody, I'll do it again. But I can't report him. But when I report to him, you don't have to do nothing. But now I will frustrate. But now, when I say somebody you have to do it, I don't talk to anybody.
Okay. My report.
I intentionally persuaded, like I'm talking to the owner, I'll call the police already, so I'll call the police after that, then I'll let the police come to where the gang is so I don't arrest them. I'm not afraid because I know that God is with me.
The children in Bukom are like children everywhere with dreams, yet this can be cut short if there is no enabling environment to help them grow those dreams. The only option for them may be to graduate from using toy guns to the other things. For Joy News, Gifty Ando Apia, Bukom.
Now that kid there was my Bukom star. 250 students of the Methodist University who were rusticated for gaining admission with deficient grades have been reinstated. It follows a court ruling directing the National Accreditation Board to reverse their dismissal. Their lawyer Gary Nimako meanwhile tells Joy News 910 other students who are affected by the NAB sanction also stand a chance of being reinstated.
The court has spoken, and the court says the students should be in school, and they are going to school without anybody inhibiting them. They are going to school, and they will stay in school until the court decides otherwise. But the matter has not been determined fully. You understand? It's a trial which is ongoing. It will go on. We don't know when it will end. It may even take 3 years. It may take 4 years.
The 171 additional students who were withdrawn from the Methodist University College last July for gaining admission without the right qualification have been reinstated. This follows the granting of an application by the students to join a suit pending in the court between 79 students, the National Accreditation Board, the Ministry of Education and the Attorney General.
If they are withdrawn, it's going to have a lot of effect on the society. Some of the students can even turn into armed robbers. Some can be for 419 scam operators. Some will be doing all manner of things that will be detrimental to society. So we are saying that, look, even if it's a new directive that you are bringing, let the students stay in school now. And then you can say, from today, 2012, nobody can go to Methodist University with a diploma certificate. And that will be understandable. But to say they can't go to Methodist University or they can't go to the university, which is a retrospective effect, we are saying no. It can't happen.
The National Accreditation Board has been ordered by the Human Rights Division of the Accra High Court to freeze its decision to withdraw the affected students from the university. Gary Nimako touched on the academic performance of the students, called for a review of entry requirements regime.
If you look at their transcripts, you can see they are making the A's, the A minuses, the B pluses. I was shocked and amazed to see that they're grades. They are making A's. Now, for somebody who is making an A in a university program, it means that they have got the mental acumen to pursue a degree program. You understand? So, to me, I don't think the diploma or whatever is really an issue for now. Let's see whether the students can really do a degree program. Let's examine their transcripts. But this kind of prototype entry requirements, rigid, I don't think is really the way to go.
He explained why this latest move by the National Accreditation Board must be revisited by stakeholders in the educational sector.
Where the person who has to give you the right to do program A, program B, program C says that you qualify, and the university itself comes out and made the publication to the whole world in a daily graphic from 2000 to date, and NAB, the ministry, raises no objection at all. And yet people have even graduated with the same entry requirements. There are people who are in the system who are working now, who went in with DBS, who went in with HND, with RSA Part 2 and 3. And they are all in the system. They've graduated. So are we going to withdraw those with their certificates from them for now?
The substantive case has been adjourned to November 29, 2012.
The last of the 18 flights to Saudi Arabia for the Hajj pilgrimage may be rescheduled due to the National Hajj Committee's inability to take delivery of the remaining passports and visas from the Saudi embassy. The committee is also trying to get Egypt to reschedule today's chartered flight. In a phone interview, the PRO of the National Hajj Committee says per the quota agreement between Ghana and Saudi Arabia, the Saudi embassy has fully discharged its obligation to provide 5,700 visas to Ghanaian pilgrims.
Each of the 18 flights admits 317 passengers, indicating the last flight is supposed to carry the last batch of pilgrims on the Hajj Committee's list. But as the deadline for Saudi authorities nears with only one flight remaining, some pilgrims are growing increasingly frustrated that they may not make it on the last flight. Joy News gathered from pilgrims of one Hajj agent, Alhaji Ayana, that he has taken the lead to Saudi Arabia, leaving his client stranded at the Hajj village. Some of the alleged victims who showed his payment receipt from last year to the news team indicated the agent promised they would have the chance to travel this year. However, looking at the situation, it is most likely that the promise would go unfulfilled.
Our agent is Alhaji Yakubu Ayana from Tamale. I came from Tamale on Wednesday because when the Hajj started, he promised us all would be going, and as the time was going, we saw it was very problematic, so I had to come from Tamale on Wednesday. And since I came, I got here and I hadn't met him. They say he's gone to Hajj or he's gone to Mecca, but his passengers are here. We can't see him, his agents, who Anani and some other fellow. Whenever you go there, they'll tell you you didn't pay money to them. They cannot help you out.
The unhappy pilgrims want the Hajj committee to blacklist agents who misconduct themselves.
Right, still to come in the bulletin, it is going to be possible for you to get a mortgage without having to pay any initial deposit. That's coming up. To stay tuned.
Joy News is poised to enhance your news experience, breaking the stories with refreshing images and audacious independence to tell it as it is. The news brand you know and can trust. Join the news team at lunchtime with midday brief and a top-up with election headquarters every weekday, 12 to 1 p.m. Starting Monday, October 15, end your search to know more right here. Flow with the fresh news momentum on Joy News on Multi TV, on radio and online.
You're onto business now, and it is now going to be possible for you to get a mortgage or get a long-term loan to buy a house without having to pay a deposit. This has become possible because Ghana Home Loans, they've acquired a $10 million loan facility from the European investment firm DEC to bridge the gap created by inadequate mortgage financing in the country.
Mortgage applicants have had to pay over a fourth of the value of the property they want to buy, a major turn-off for many of them. The waiver of the down payment therefore means they only have to earn enough to pay the monthly installments. The new facility marks another milestone for Ghana Home Loans and the entire housing sector, even as government also continues to explore various affordable housing initiatives to reduce the housing deficit. It is targeted mainly at low to middle income earners. Chief Executive Dominic Edu explains how prospective homeowners can access the facility.
As for Ghana in particular and through Ghana Home Loans is that we estimate that about 1,500 individuals will be living under roofs that have been financed by DEG through Ghana Home Loans. And this is a facility that's actually geared at the lower end of the market, not the higher end. We're not going to fund millionaires with this. We're going to fund people who are hardworking, have a decent income, and wanting to own their own homes. Well, yes. I mean, in the past, most of our products required that before you buy the property or before we fund you, you have to put down about 20%. You don't give it to Ghana Home Loans, you pay it to the seller of the property, and then we fund 80%. With this facility, if you find a property for 25, 30,000, we're able to write it all. We'll provide 100%. Everything.
Regional Director for DEG, Andreas Voss, intimated the facility should help increase housing delivery.
I think the main problem is affordable financing. This is, in my opinion, the main problem. We see a lot of developments. I mean, every year, approximately 30,000 to 40,000 new units get established. So there are new developments. And if you go around Accra and around the country, you see a lot of very amazing real estate projects, especially in the private residential area. The problem is to bring the financing to a level which allows people to buy real estate. And this is something where we are working on, and this is something where this facility, which we have now provided to Ghana Home Loans, helps.
Since its establishment 6 years ago, GHL has provided funding for over 1,500 properties totaling $90 million.
The producer price of cocoa for the year 2012-2013 cocoa crop season has shot up despite the declining world cocoa prices. The reviewed price was agreed upon by the Producer Price Review Committee (PPRC) today under the chairmanship of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning in Accra.
The PPRC reviewed upwards the producer price of cocoa from 3,280 Ghana cedis per ton to 3,392 Ghana cedis per ton. This translates to 212 Ghana cedis per bag of 64 kilogram, which represents 78.42% of the FOB. The Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Kwabena Dufo, reiterated government's commitment to the welfare of cocoa farmers.
Indeed, faced with the declining world price of cocoa from 3,000 down to 2,300 as we're speaking, but government still remains committed to ensuring that the welfare of our cocoa farmers is continuously enhanced. Government has decided to reduce its share of the 2012-2013 export duty drastically, in order to raise the producer price we are paying to our hard-working cocoa farmers.
The minister was also optimistic cocoa price would shoot up in the next 12 months on the international market. Producer price of cocoa has continuously increased from 75 Ghana cedis per bag of 64 kilogram in the 2007-2008 cocoa season to 212 per 64 kilogram in the 2012-2013 cocoa season. Enoch Kobina, Chief Director of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, told the media government is planning a package for farmers.
Our farmers are almost 800,000. And when you look at a model in the informal sector, if you have a pension scheme, it is good. But you must have the resources and you must have the people to accept this sort of model. We've been cross-fertilizing ideas with all the stakeholders. You need to know which LBC is going to take back the money and whether the LBCs are even prepared, for the collection of these monies on behalf of our cocoa farmers. That is why it has taken some time, but with God's blessing, we will get there by all means.
The farmers also expressed their gratitude to the government for the intervention and said this will motivate them to do more.
We all saw that cocoa price in the world market is falling down, and we farmers, our own, they did not reduce it. They add something on the price of our produce. So we're happy about that.
The PPRC also approved other rates and fees for all other stakeholders in the industry.
Staying with business, tax policy advisor at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Dr. Edward Labisian, a tax policy advisor, has called for stringent measures to strengthen revenue mobilization and lessen the tax burden on taxpayers.
The meeting, which was under the auspices of the Ghana Revenue Authority, was organized to solicit views from the private sector regarding the state of taxation and the tax policy issues the private sector would like to see in the government's budget statement and economic policy. Dr. Labisian expressed dissatisfaction at the number of Ghanaians that pay direct taxes. He also suggested new churches should be taxed.
Every country, churches, the donations that you make, they are not taxed. But we are a democracy. We listen to every view. But the new churches that are exhibiting a lot of wealth, if you see them building houses and they are renting, you go and tax them.
Dr. Labisian expressed hope that a new tax administration, together with the support from the security agencies, would help clamp down on activities of tax evaders. The Chief Director at the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Enoch Kobina, in a speech read on his behalf, said guidelines were being drafted to guide the management of tax exemptions regime, bonded warehousing and valuation.
Selected business journalists in some media houses will be awarded by the Gold Award for Business Journalism tomorrow. The award scheme is expected to celebrate the work of business reporters who contribute to business growth.
The maiden edition of the Gold Awards for Business Journalism is expected to foster better relationship between business reporters and corporate entities. It is being championed by Maso Productions West Africa in partnership with the Institute of Financial and Economic Journalists, and will be held on October 13 at the Airport West Hotel in Accra. The event organizer, Iposo Elijah, noted that the award is designed to encourage more investigative and research-based business reporting.
We know that the business climate is improving. We know that when we go on the net, a lot of us can talk about what happens in economic and business trends in Europe and America. But the question is, what do people know about us? What we know about the rest is simply based on how they market themselves, what they do, how they go about it. And we believe that with these awards, it will be more of a source of encouragement, something for business journalists to look up to that will make them do proper research, do proper investigative journalism, and also specialize.
There will be 13 awards in all, 9 individual categories and 4 corporate categories.
It is a first. Our expectations are really high, but it means that maybe along the line we'll find a few faults with what we have done, and we expect that after doing it, we'll learn from that and then we'll polish up for the next one.
Joy FM is among the shortlisted corporate institutions to be awarded tomorrow.
The International Monetary Fund IMF head Christine Lagarde has backed calls for Greece to have more time to meet the target of its bailout. She said in a BBC debate held in Tokyo that it might be better than making Greece pay the most upfront. But the biggest contributor to Greece's bailouts, Germany, rebuffed the idea. Next up, we have some smart investment tips.
Sports comes up in a bit. Stay tuned. My name is Rashidat Kadiri, and we look ahead to a busy weekend of football activities on the local, foreign and international fronts. First on the continent, the Black Stars take on the Flames of Malawi tomorrow in a return leg of the final 2013 Cup of Nations qualifier to be staged in South Africa. The Lilongwe match will be one of 14 other qualifiers that will be played this weekend.
The Black Stars wrapped up a 4-day training tour of Kenya yesterday ahead of the crucial final round Nations Cup second leg qualifier against Malawi. The team is expected to leave Kenya today for Lilongwe, where the final clash against the Flames will be played on Saturday. Coach Kwesi Appiah and his team are eager to secure a slot to next year's tournament in South Africa. Ghana beat Malawi 2-0 in the first leg played in Accra last month, and the winner over the 2 legs will qualify to the tournament. The Black Star team will be relying on the experience of John Pencil, the magic legs of Christian Achu, Andrew Dede Ayew, hot shot striker Abdul Majid Waris, Kojo Asamoah, just to mention a few. John Pencil is making a return to the squad after a 7-month absence. Espanyol's Mubarak Wakaso and TP Mazembe's midfielder Daniel Nieje have both been handed their first senior invitations for the game. The Stars will play Malawi tomorrow, and the winner, according to aggregate, will qualify for the Nations Cup in South Africa.
Now, in other fixtures that will be played across Africa, we'll see them shortly on the screen. And Ghana's match against Malawi will be one of the other 14 matches that will be played. Okay, so these are fixtures going on across the world in the UEFA Europe World Cup qualifiers, as well as the Oceania, AFC, CONMEBOL, and CONCACAF. Russia are taking out Portugal. They actually lost that game already, but in CAN qualifies to the 2013 Cup of Nations. Botswana up against Mali. Senegal take on Ivory Coast. Malawi up against Ghana. Nigeria will take on Liberia. Uganda will host Zambia. Cameroon up against Cape Verde. Morocco up against Mozambique. And Tunisia will be up in arms against Sierra Leone. Other fixtures in the world, Russia have already beaten Portugal by 1-0. Finland will take on Georgia. Czech Republic take on Malta. Armenia are up against Italy, and they're already losing that particular game. Belarus is already down by 4-0 against Spain. So these are matches that are coming up in the world, and of course also across the continent. We've seen some matches that will be coming up. Okay, so Morocco up against Mozambique and Tunisia up against Sierra Leone. Those are some matches coming up tomorrow and on Sunday in the qualifiers to the 2013 Cup of Nations in South Africa. Now, in faraway Azerbaijan, the Black Maidens will be seeking to console themselves with a bronze medal in the ongoing FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup after losing out in the finals to France. They play Germany for a second time in the 3rd and 4th place match tomorrow in Azerbaijani capital Baku.
The Black Maidens of Ghana failed to qualify to the finals of the ongoing FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in Azerbaijan. The Maidens, who are the only African nation to have qualified to the semi-finals of the competition, will battle it out with Germany to secure a 3rd position. Though the Germans failed to avenge their quarter-final loss to Korea Democratic People's Republic at Trinidad and Tobago 2010, they can still record their best ever finish in the competition if they see of the Maidens, who have never gone this far before and also are the first African side to do so. Masoud Didi Dramani's side will be without their star performer Jane Eyeyam, who was sent off in their semi-final against France. The team will rely on other attributes aside from Eyeyam's capability in front of goal, not least the strength and speed that have made them the surprise packages of Azerbaijan 2012. The two sides know each other well after their Group D meeting. On that occasion, Germany took an early 2-goal lead, back in their habit of staging late comebacks in the tournament, before clinging on for a 2-1 win as the Africans spurned a host of chances. A win for the Black Maidens of Ghana on Saturday will see them with a historic bronze medal, as no Ghanaian female soccer team have gone past the group stages of any FIFA-organized female competition.
So all the best to the Black Stars and the Black Maidens. But back home in Ghana, the local Premier League enters week 2 with 8 matches across all centres. And top of the bill, we'll see the Ashanti Regional Derby between Kotoko and Ash Gold. They will be locking horns at the Obuasi Lenkley Stadium. Hearts Folk will also look forward to lifting up their game in search of a victory when they host 2012 FA Cup champions New Edibiasi at the Accra Sports Stadium. Amida's professionals, who were impressive in their first outing against defending champions Asante Kotoko, take on city rivals Liberty Professionals at the Tema Park. Adriana Stars will play host to Bukom Chelsea at the Domar Park, while All Stars travel to the Golden City Park in Bukom to play Arsenal's. Other fixtures will see Mediama SC taking on Takwa. Other fixtures will see Mediama SC taking on Ebusua Dwarfs at the Takwa T&A Park, with King Faisal taking on Tema Youth at the Babayara Stadium in Kumasi. All of these games will be played on Sunday. However, tomorrow we'll see Bando Heart of Lions hosting Premier League returnees RTU at the Bando Park. And remember that there will be live commentary on the game between Ghana and Malawi on Joy FM at 12:30. So do make a date and join us then for live commentary all the way from Lilongwe. That will end it for the sports segment for tonight. Coming up, Israel Laye will be back with the international news. Stay tuned.
Brought to you by Global Lighting Center, your solution to quality lighting.
EcoBank, the rhythm of Africa.
More than 60,000 retired Ugandan teachers, civil servants and soldiers have had their payment halted after an audit exposed ghost pensioners. Pensioners have not received their September payments, and Treasury officials say it may be another 2 weeks before they do so.
The recent investigation found that hundreds of pension payments were being made every month to non-existent people. But pensioners fear the cleanup of the pension payroll may take much longer. According to reports, the failure to pay September's pension is already making life difficult for thousands of people relying on the monthly money to buy food essentials and medication. Uganda's private Daily Monitor newspaper says an audit exposed how the pension list included names that appear more than once and people with different names by the same bank account number. A few years ago, the system for paying salaries in the army, one of the worst offenders, was overhauled and all soldiers are now paid via bank accounts. This year was audited to weed out non-existent workers. However, this led to complaints when some genuine teachers did not receive their salaries for up to 6 months.
The Botswana High Court has overturned a customary law which prevented women from inheriting the family home. The judge ruled that the law contravened the Constitution, which guarantees equality for men and women.
Edith Musi and her sisters have fought a 5-year legal battle after their nephew said he was the rightful owner of their house. Correspondents say traditions which stop women from inheriting property exist in many African societies. Judge Ki Dinganke said that in the name of fairness and equality, women should have the right to inherit property. Reports say Musi, the only one of her sisters at the High Court in Gaborone, was very excited by the ruling. They first contested their nephew's claim in a customary court in 2007. They lost the case and a subsequent appeal before turning to the civil courts. According to the legal rights group, the case challenged an Ngwakeche customary law rule that allows for the youngest born son to inherit the family home.
U.S. vice presidential candidates Joe Biden and Paul Ryan clashed sharply in their only debate amid tightening polls ahead of the 6th November election. Thursday night's debate saw feisty exchanges on national security, economy, taxes, and healthcare.
Biden, a Democrat, was aggressive, frequently interrupting his rival as he defended President Barack Obama. Ryan, a Republican Wisconsin congressman, was comparatively calm in his first debate on the national stage. The The head-of-head came as Democrats tried to rejuvenate their campaign after what was widely seen as a poor debate performance by President Obama last week. The vice president repeatedly cut off Ryan, chuckling, rolling his eyes and raising his hands in apparent exasperation, even as he referred to his rival as "my friend." But Ryan seemed not to be rattled. His goal was to defend Romney's recent gains against a renewed onslaught from Obama. On stage at Center College in Kentucky, the vice presidential candidate jousted as moderator Martha Radat of ABC News sought to keep order. The debate opened with an exchange on Libya, where a U.S. ambassador was killed last month in what the Obama administration now calls a terrorist attack.
Denning Edem Agbeviade, better known in showbiz as Edem, says he has a huge surprise up his sleeves for his fans come the 22nd of December this year. Edem, who was speaking in an exclusive interview with Showbiz, will not disclose what this surprise is, but insists his fans should keep the day open for that surprise.
The 26-year-old rapper rose to fame with the release of his maiden album, The Volta Regime, in 2008, which had hit songs like You The Craze, Bra Fremi Fremi and Nyonu Viade, among others. He set off into the music industry under the showbiz name Aigbe Edem, but when he had to move on in his career, he rebranded and currently performs under the name Edem. There have been some controversies surrounding his music clips, especially his over and over video, but Edem says that controversies urge him on. Very recently, he was in the news that he had rendered an apology for engaging in a one-night stand, but Edem says the story was twisted, probably for news benefits. He seized the opportunity to restate what exactly he said. Edem, who just got back to town from South Africa, says he had a great experience in SA, performing at shows and even got the chance to record a new video. So fans, you can follow Edem on his Twitter page to catch a glimpse of his new video. He also tells his fans to look out for a big surprise come the 22nd of December this year. For Edem, he has always enjoyed being a musician because he loves music and the profession has affected his life positively.